Welcome back to KIRO Nights, everybody. My name's Aaron Mason. I'm here with G. Scott, and it's about 9:30, so it's time for me to do my thing, which is I bring a couple stories to the show that are either weird or strange or just kind of up my alley. Whether or not they fit into the show, I will let G. Scott decide. But,
all right.
I got a couple for us today, G.
Okay.
So let's start with number one. Pepsi and this company called Starrocket are teaming up to launch satellites for energy drink ads in the night sky. Now, what this means is there's this Russian company got together with Pepsi, and they're going to use what's called CubeSats to create, and I'll explain that in a second, to create artificial constellations and, like, spell out Pepsi, I can only assume, or the name of this product. CubeSats are just these tiny little mini satellites. They're 10 centimeters cubed. They're pretty small, less than a foot. And they've been in low orbit. They hang out. They've been around there for like 15 years. We've been using them, but we've never used them for ads or to blight the night sky, as I like to call it. And this, I don't know, this upsets me greatly.
Tell me why.
Because it's the sky. Like, can I look anywhere without seeing an ad? Is that possible? I spent some time in Hawaii, and there's a law in Hawaii that you cannot have billboards. If you drive down the beautiful H1, you look to your left and to your right, and you just see the beauty of Hawaii and the nature, and there's no gross billboards blocking that all up. And so this is sort of equivalent to me.
I'm glad you bring that up. L.A. When I'm down there, it is so bombarded with signs. Same thing when I go home to Chicago. It's the same thing. And I'm not saying, I mean, there's signs here in Seattle. Sure. But not like L.A. and Chicago. It is crazy. That you bring up a good point. Now, can you kind of explain a little bit to me, because I'm trying to figure out if I want to be upset or not about this whole Pepsi advertising in the sky. So how would that happen? Would that be a national? Would that be a regional, local? How would that work?
Oh, no, it'd pretty much be all over. I mean, it's wherever they put the satellites in the sky. And so wherever you can see this particular area, it's not way, way high up in space. It's just maybe like, I don't know. It's in low orbit. So yeah, you'll be able to see these basically from wherever you are, if you can get a good look at, like, the moon. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't like it. Good. I don't like
either.
Pandora's box being open that way. And I was watching basketball yesterday, the playoffs, and, I don't watch NBA anymore, but I saw they got the advertising on the jerseys a little bit. And because, they do that with, soccer overseas and everything. Yep. And I'm just like, well, there it is right there. And when you start talking about putting satellites in the sky to advertise, come on now.
I know.
You absolutely open up Pandora's box.
I agree.
And so basically, you are allowing for all of the the big companies, the Amazons, the Pepsis, those with the money, and what would that cost, right?
Right.
And who gets paid for that? Well, and where does that money go?
In this case, it's this company, Starrocket, who are Russian. And, they're going to 8 hours of advertising in the night sky, they say, is probably going to cost about $20,000.
That's it?
Yeah. Dude, they want to put it up.
How long?
They want to put it up everywhere for 8 hours.
8 hours? Only 20,000?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Wait,
these CubeSats, these little satellites, are cheap. And they're made with basically homemade tech. It's not like NASA-specific stuff.
Talk about so you got 20,000 in the sky for 8 hours, or do you want to go $5 million for 30 seconds on a Super Bowl commercial?
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just waiting for a Nike swoosh on the moon. Yeah. And then I'm pulling my eyes out.
All right. What else you got, brother?
I got another story. This is a little bit of news you can use.
Okay.
It's about USBs. You know, USB drives.
Yeah.
And, if you have a mouse or a keyboard that you got to plug in somewhere, that's a USB. And maybe this is an aside to the story. Maybe it's just me, but every time I go to plug in a USB, I do it wrong the first time. And then I got to flip it around and plug it in the right way. Statistically, it's coin toss odds. It's 50-50. Over the course of my life, there is no reason that it shouldn't be half right, half wrong. And I'm telling you, it's like 95% wrong way the first time. And I don't think I'm the only guy who does that. I think that's a pretty common story. But apparently, Microsoft, they confirmed that you no longer have to do the safely remove your USB thing. You used to have to wait and go through this menu and click this thing and undo your stuff. No, apparently, Windows 10, you can just rip that baby out. Don't even worry. As long as it's not in use, as long as you're not saving data to it just then or pulling anything, you're good to go. Just walk away.
Speaking of that, I don't know what I've done with my USB. I have one. They got a bunch of stuff on it. Now that you bring that up,
that's the problem. That's the problem with this stuff.
I'm like, where is that thing? That's why I love the cloud so much. I don't have to worry about things.
Gotta love that cloud.
Oh man, now if and when something happens to that cloud,
we're gonna have some problems.
Hope nobody goes and hacks that.
For sure.
What else you got, brother?
All right, one more story. This one is insane. Doctors in Taiwan have removed 4 bees embedded in a woman's left eye.
What?
A 29-year-old patient went to a hospital in Taiwan last month because of severe pain in her eye, and doctors discovered tiny bees feeding off the moisture in her tear ducts.
Oh, man.
The bees were alive. They are apparently known as sweat bees because they feed on sweat and tears from humans and animals.
Oh, my God.
Have you ever heard of such a thing? This is a nightmare that I didn't know I had. She apparently was plucking weeds around a gravestone, and she rinsed out what she thought was like sand from her eyes, but it was so swollen that she ended up going to the hospital, and this ophthalmologist, under a microscope, pulled them out one after another. Like I said, they were still alive, but the doctors are saying because she had contacts, that may have saved her vision. Because she was wearing contacts, she didn't want to rub her eyes, in case it messed up her contacts. And so because she didn't do that, the bees, they have this defense mechanism where if that were to happen, they produce this venom, and she could have gone blind.
Oh, so these particular bees can produce a certain venom.
Yeah, they have a venom that can blind.
So she gets out of it, the bees are gone, and she has her eyesight.
And she has her eyesight, yeah. She's doing fine. They even she's expected to make a full recovery, and they saved the bees. They were still alive, and they sent them to a research facility.
Saved the bees, saved the eye. Man, some
save the whales, save the cheerleader.
You know what it sounds like? Sounds like some smart people, smarter than me. All right, coming up next is time for recommendations. You guys are listening to KIRO Nights. I'm G. Scott. That's Aaron Mason.